Hey folks, Monk52 here. Today we're going to be discussing the Suzuya / Mogami, because they are exactly the same ship. The only difference is these gun turrets, instead of 203, they're 155. So we're going to go over our build for the Mogami, which is essentially the Suzuya. I've not bought the campaign, so I'm going to use the Mogami as an example for you. So aiming systems, best mod here. A guns, you're not going to spec it realistically. You're going to go with aiming systems for that better dispersion. Propulsion is a good choice, and so is steering. Again, as I discussed in my Miyoko video, I'll link that above there in the wee cards. You can see there's room to grow. It's a preference build. You can run steering gears, you can run concealment, don't bother with target position, but these are two viable options. Again, you could run a range mod for the gunfire control, or you could run the main battery. I think the main battery is more comfortable, especially on the Suzuya as well. Azure Lane Arago as the preferred commander. Again, if you're looking for alternative commanders, please take a look at my Miyoko video. I have all the commanders you would use for the Suzuya, and the Miyoko and the Mogami. It's the same sort of build. Makawa is again for your comfortable build. If you're looking for a more dangerous build and you're very comfortable in cruisers, you could use Minbelly for the additional reload. For this purpose of the video, I think I used Makawa, which could net off for extra range. So yeah, if you take a look at concealment, it's 11.1. And it's very similar for both Suzuya. So without much further ado, we'll head into a battle and we'll show you what the Mogami / Suzuya will do. Now, as I said, the only difference the Suzuya has over the Mogami is these different guns. Instead of 2 or 3mm guns, you get 155s. And they reload faster as well because they are smaller caliber. So you're a little bit better at dealing out the damage than a Mogami is, but you do not have that penetrating power that the Mogami does. Mogami's 2 or 3mm, if you divide by 6, can pen 33mm, so it can pen 32mm of armor, and that's a very important threshold because every battleship at tier 7 and even above has 32mm bow and stern, and some of them have 32mm deck plating as well. So you'll damage the majority of every battleship in the game, bar the cruiser care first, but even then you'll still, the upper deck is 32 as well, so you'll do a lot. Typical Mogami Suzuya play here. If you're in this map or you're like that, receive opportunity to fire torpedoes, particularly in a cap, and you can cover the whole cap, fire them. You're not going to use them immediately, you definitely want to do it. Also, picking the opportunities to fire when you're not at risk, go for it. Cruisers are all about DPM, so you want to be careful there. Yeah, I clipped the island there, sure, but I wanted to make sure that I was not spotted by the Yamato. That's 100%. And this, how you play this, is exactly how you'd play the Suzuya. You can ask Chili Games, you can ask Sarkun, you can ask any CC, I dare you. They will tell you this is exactly how you play the Suzuya. So this is essentially my Suzuya Masterclass before the boat even comes out for me. Taking opportunity shots when you're not spotted is the best thing you could possibly do in a cruiser. You really want unfair engagements. There we go. That's the 3 penetrations. If that was Suzuya, you might get the double fire as well, but you wouldn't get those 3 penetrations, at least. Oh well, where I hit the Massachusetts there. So we're running an agile steering build here, so you can actually use your agility quite well if you wanted to dodge, but there's no need to dodge right now. If we shoot right now, we've got a Kuchezov, a Massa, and potentially another whole bunch of ships that we don't even know about. They're not spotted. There's an Arago to the left, and I think there's a Yamato there as well, but with hindsight I don't know that, but what's the worst thing to do is just assume the worst. So we only shoot that one time because we're getting behind the island and we're going to break detection very soon. The only thing that can comfortably shoot us, there is a Yamato there, is the Arago. Arago immediately is not a massive threat. He will cause me bother. Kuchezov does take a shot at me, does set me on fire, unfortunate. Arago does, oh well, what you know, the Arago barely hits me, but the Kuchezov does take a double set here. So we're going to run here, we're going to duke a little bit of shots, we're going to go dark again. We're thinking about shooting here, probably, yeah. Alright, see why we're shooting, because we've got island cover potentially, already about to reach it. The worst you'll get one shot, and at this range I feel pretty comfortable dodging. We had AP loaded for the Arago, but he did go dark himself, so we didn't bother going for the Arago shot. Now, we're about to enter cover here again. Okay, and we're just gonna pepper this pure Massachusetts. Again, this is exactly how you play the Suzuya. So you've already bought the campaign, or you're considering getting it. It's essentially a Mogami, but with a faster fire rate. Not the most tanky of boats, I guarantee that. But it's a very agile boat and a very fun boat to play if you like cruiser play. So we're just going to stop here by this island. We could shoot over it. Japanese HE shells are good, have good shell arcs. So we're just going to stay here and we're going to pepper these guys. Yeah, we are spotted, but there's no way anyone can shoot us. So we're fine. We're just going to back up a little bit and then we're going to put the stop. If you press the back up a little bit, like if you go into reverse a little bit and you press stop, it actually does a wee bit of a motion, so you don't have to press reverse all the time. So you can actually press reverse once and then tap into stop, and the ship will move back a tiny little bit. That's like miniature precise movements. Because you see I'm shooting over this island, and I've got double island cover there. I've got the island to my left and the island in the middle. And we're just going to spam this Yamato because we can punish these whole deck armor. I think his whole deck armor is 32, so we're just punching that. And if not, we're just hitting the superstructure. Notice as well, if you are trying to set fires, you have to set fires in different parts of the ship. So, you see Kutuzov here, he's on low health. Killing low health ships is the best thing you can do for your team. That Kutuzov is still incredibly deadly. He has all his guns, he has all that firepower in the game. Whether he's got 1 health or there we go. Whether he's got 1 health or full health, he's still just as deadly. Perhaps even more deadly when he's got more health. So we're just going to shoot the Yamato a little bit, see if we can reverse a little bit and finish off that Massachusetts. He's pretty low, so a couple fire or 2 will probably kill him. Probably 2 fires. We're backing up, we're risking a little bit here, but again we go dark because of the island. Positioning is key for Suzuya, and it's also key for Mogami. They have the same armor scheme, and the only difference is their fire rate. These guns do pen for much more, but you'll set much more fires into Suzuya because you have a faster fire rate. Massa unfortunately does shoot the other target, not for his, obviously not good for my teammate there, but good for me that he didn't go for me. So we're just going to stop again. This is all about positioning, folks. If the Massa wanted to disengage from this fight, he could turn away, and he's already made too many misplays and he's been sunk, unfortunately. For him, at least. Not for me. Bismarck, we're going to shoot up a little bit. Notice the aiming. You actually aim a little bit up. I was talking about this in the live stream he was doing when he was covering my videos, so I will take a look at this and I will try and do an aiming guide. I think Hive is pretty good at that. So if you haven't looked at Hive's video, live stream, please check it out. He did the gas station simulator, and then afterwards he went to critique small time YouTubers' games, and he was very interesting, gave a lot of good feedback. So if you haven't seen Hive and his videos, check him out. Obviously he's much more popular than I am. I'm only on like 670 subs and he's on like 3k, 2k, so yeah. I think he didn't really my self-promotion, but there we go, I'll promote him nonetheless. Alright, taking some pot shots on Mogami, and we're not doing well on ships, unfortunately. I'm trying to think here what to do and how to best play this game. How to play this match, sorry, shall I say. And I'm just trying to think here, because if I can get into C-Cap, I can help contest C, and I really need to help contest C. But that Yamato is by far the most dangerous thing in the enemy team. Because, number one, it can overmatch everything we have. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if we have a GK. He's the only legendary that I know in this game. We double set him. We are spotted briefly, but there's an island between me and him. So that means no detection very soon. There we go. He does turn towards us there, thinking, oh, this Mogami's shooting me, I must delete him. But I go dark, so he's not interested. He can't follow up his shot. If I was him, I probably would have taken a shot and I would have had to do evasive maneuvers. But because he's not me and he's not doing that play, we're just going to hit him. Notice how I'm hitting the back of the ship, as I've already set a fire in the front of the ship. So we're trying to hit the back of the ship. I do miss a little bit and hit all the front of the ship, but we're going to go aim for the back. You actually hit a lot of conning tower shots there, that's why a lot of them bounced, which is quite funny. But there we go. So we're just going to shoot the back of the game. This is all about map awareness and map positioning. The Suzuya would do even better in this situation than the Mogami would, but this is the same sort of playstyle you want to adopt with the Mogami. You could do the run and gun tactics with Mogami and Suzuya, but if you got good positioning like this, There's no need to, you know, you can earn this damage much easier. There's no need to be diving, duking and dodging. There's no need for any of that. You can just sit back and just farm carefully as long as you have good positioning, you know. I know exactly what could be a threat to me. The Arigo could push in, the enemy battleships from Bravo could push in. I'm really wanting this Richelieu to actually cap the base here, because he seems to be hanging around and he seems to be in C by kind of chance, not actually trying to cap it. I wish he went behind that island on C. If you take a look at the minimap, just below, so he can take cover from the Yamato and capture Charlie Cap successfully. That way we could be ahead on points and we'd actually have an incentive for them to push us, which puts us in a favourable position. Unfortunately though, he does not do this. He just sits there and just tries to bow tank a Yamato, which is not going to go well for him. Richelieu is entirely made of 32mm armour, which means you will absolutely be... you're just a damage sponge for Yamato. Alabama pops in, he's a pretty darn big concern. Yamato does see me, I've been burning him, I got the Witherer off the poor guy. He is definitely going to shoot me. I know how it feels like, he's not going to be happy, so he does take a shot. We do dodge it with our steering gear mods and our turning, and we do get the Arsehole award. And yes, that's the Arsehole award if you all don't know. So, we're going to push into the cap here and try desperately to get the C cap. I don't know what's been going on with the Richelieu. I kind of gave him a benefit of the doubt and that was my mistake. I really should have just tried to cap this objective, but my positioning made me burn down the Yamato, and because of that, the Richelieu has lived a little bit longer. We'll see what happens to him near the end. Alabama, get a nice good pot shot, 8 penetrations, that's a 32mm pen, right, I work right there, you know. Mogami benefits more from the penetration damage rather than the fires, but the fires do add on. I do say this and I have got a Witherer, but the Mogami is not a slouch setting fires either. This is exactly what the Suzuya is, a more fire focused build. You won't actually be penning as much, you will be doing more fires than that. But yeah, definitely Mogami has its strengths over Suzuya for pen damage, actual damaging hits. You've also got 203s and 203mm heavy cruiser AP is much more deadly than 155 cruiser AP. The Suzuya actually is, I think the Suzuya is a light cruiser because of the armament of the guns. If the 203, they classify themselves as heavy cruisers, and light cruisers are 155, 152 sort of thing. So I'm making my first mistake, I think. Though, again, it's more of a hindsight mistake. I fire torpedoes at the Cleveland in order to support our DD there. I need to get moving and try and push this Alabama a little bit. Try and get as much shot at him as possible before he breaks his corner. Arigo does take out a Richelieu again. Arigo is essentially Mogami, but a little bit better firing angles for the torpedoes. So, yeah, not good. Alabama can see us. That's not pretty. We're going to have to dodge this and see if we can. Oh god, not pretty. Okay, we eat some major damage there, but it's not great, but we at least tanked it. We're good. We've not taken any damage besides that, really. So it was definitely well worth it. Alright, we're going to have to duke Arigo and Alabama. Torpedoes sent towards Alabama. Torpedoes on Mogami and Suzuya are best sent when the enemy doesn't expect it. So my guns are turned towards Arigo. He probably thinks I'm well focused on Arigo. I'm just trying to run away from his Alabama shells. Gun turrets turn so slow, it's well worth just looking about like that. Arigo plays extremely well this game, by the way. He does actually bait my AP, which is a very good strategy, but if you get it wrong, you could be really, really screwed. We take everything but one shell Alabama does give us there. We still have another heal in 38 seconds. We are now shooting him just to try and get rid of that Alabama. Maybe give him a fire, maybe a torpedo will hit something. We gotta just try and get rid of him. Take him down a peg. So yeah, we're really struggling here. Our DD did suicide himself to a Cleveland, and unfortunately, I've been trying to look over this game, see what I did wrong, and I honestly don't think I did anything wrong. Not to toot my own horn, I just don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I did wrong. If you think I've done something wrong this game, please let me know in comments. Remember, hindsight is 20/20, and as much as I'd like to say I made a misplay here and there. I don't know what I could have done, knowing the situation I knew at the time. So fortunately for me, Alabama does go down to the flooding from that single torp. We set him on fire and he burned his damage control. We switched to AP to try and bait out. The Adigo breaks our back turret, at least one of them. Not a major loss, but pretty darn annoying. That's low as our DPM. We switched to AP because he is giving us a little bit of a broadside, but as soon as they see this, he turns right away and bounces both. So yeah, very good play from this Adigo. I did give him a GG at the end. He also must have been running his sonar, because those torpedoes look pretty good, but he dodged them completely. Again, this Adigo is definitely running a agility or steering gears mod on this thing, so he's very tough to kill right now. Notice when I have the HE loaded, he gives the broadside and then turns right back in at the very end. So this strategy can pay off, but if you're not lucky, it can be really bad for you. Because you see here, I switched to AP. I think there's one shot I get. No, okay, so there we go. He's still duking my shots. I should have just kept the HE on, but I really need to try the AP because I'm at a severe health disadvantage. The only way I can win is by citadeling him / dev striking him. So we catch him in the middle of a turn here. This should be a kill shot, but unfortunately they're all overpens. No citadels, unfortunately. He does in fact take us down. So yeah, a little bit rough. But yeah, I don't know what I could have done wrong this game. This is a prime example of what you can do in a Mogami, and this is the same thing you can do in a Suzuya. So 207,000, Wither, Arsonist, Arsol Award, High Caliber, top of the team, and pretty high XP for a loss. 21 fires set and over 230 shell hits for these long reloading guns. Hope this helps you guys out, and as always, I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.